Hello my friends, my name is Torin. Today we're going to talk about some ways to keep cool. Some of these you're familiar with, some of these you might be familiar with, but maybe need a little reminder. That happens to me all the time. I think, oh yeah, I had that idea before, I heard that before, I forgot, and this reminds me. So that's a good thing. And other ones maybe you've never heard of. So, let's get started. First I have the Mr. Cooley Towel. This is an evaporative towel. And what you do is you get it wet and you put it on your body and it cools your skin. I think it's like between 2 to 3 to 4 degrees difference from the ambient air temperature. And believe it or not, it makes a big difference. And I do recommend it. Mr. Cooley Towel. I'll read the side of the box here. The Mr. Cooley Towel helps you chill away sweat. Super evaporative material feels significantly cooler than the ambient air temperature. Wear for hours or wipe off for quick relief. So that's Mr. Cooley Towel. Now, I'll say one thing about this. It requires no power, you just have to get it wet. But when you do use it, when you're done with it and it's all soaked, wring it out. And when you dry it, it's gonna dry very stiff. So if you just kind of leave it kind of like in a mess, it'll dry like cardboard and you won't be able to fold it properly to put it away. So it's better to fold it wet, and then when it dries, it will stay in that folded form. And then to use it again, you just get it wet again. So low power, zero power, let's be honest. Easy to use and effective. Definitely recommend it. Another thing you can do to keep cool, of course, is a fan. Now this is a Logix fan. They have different names for the same fan. Another name for it is Oplar, O-P-L-A-R. I think I saw that reviewed on Bob Wells' channel. The cool thing about this fan is that it's USB, so I can take this anywhere. I can take it with a little phone battery pack and use it outside. I can take this thing anywhere, and it's very useful that way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to compare this fan to this fan. This fan back here is a marine grade fan. It's a much more expensive fan. It's about $50 more. It's called the Ultimate 757 by Cafaramo. How do you say that? C-A-F-R-A-M-O. Cafaramo? And that's a 12 volt fan. Works fairly well. But let's compare the two. Okay, so I've hooked up this fan right here to this switch, and that turns on like so. I did that because the switch is on the back for the fan itself. When I'm lying away from it, you kind of get your hand tangled up in here, and it's not a pleasant feeling to get your hand chopped. It's not going to hurt you, but it's just annoying. Anyway, so this is on, is that on low or high? Let's see. I'll switch it to the other one. This is low. So that's what this fan sounds like on low. This is what it sounds like on high. It is a little bit noisy. And because I have my back doors open, the noise is mitigated. If those doors are closed, the sound waves would be bouncing around a lot more, and it would be a lot louder. Okay, here is the Logix fan on low. As you can tell, can barely hear it. In fact, I can't even hear it at all. Now let's switch it to high. somewhat audible now. Not really. Don't fall over, Mr. Fan. So there's a comparison of the two fans that I have, Camafro and the Logix, or Oppler. There is a significant difference in terms of the volume of loudness, but there's also a huge difference in the amount of air they push. If you want to cool down, this fan is way more effective. The Caframo. I'm having a hard time saying that word. So they are about a $50 difference in price. These are Canadian prices, so who knows what it is in other places. But that's what's happening. And now the ice cream man's going to come, so I have to pause this video. So another thing you can do to keep cool is what you wear. This is a dress shirt. I wear dress shirts at work. And what I basically did was, it was a little bit small. I cut the sleeves off. It's like a very light material, and with the sleeves off, believe me, it's basically one of the coolest shirts you can have. If you unbutton it really low, then it's even better. So yeah, what you wear makes a big difference. I wear loose clothing, lightweight as much as possible when it's really hot. It makes a difference. Now, another thing that makes a huge difference is having your back doors open and your side door open. This creates airflow right through the van, and it's awesome because it feels like the ice cream man's going to come again. As I was saying, makes a huge difference because it's like you're always in shade and there's a nice breeze. If it's even a little bit windy, you get a little breeze through the van, and you can't really get any cooler than that unless you have air conditioning or something like that. Here's another little deal that I do when it's super hot, if I can. Park near the beach, near the ocean. It has a cooling effect. It's like 2 degrees cooler down here than inland, 2 to 3 Celsius cooler. And it's more windy, which means I'm getting a breeze through the van. So whenever I can, if it's super hot out, I love to be down here. Now, speaking of having your doors open, that's one of the reasons I wanted a slider door, because the larger the open airspace is, the more air is going to get through. And if you have the kind of barn doors, depending on what kind of van you have, they will block the air from getting through. My Express, you couldn't open it all the way. I noticed on the Ford E150 series, you actually can open the doors all the way almost flat. You can use a bungee. I think Chrome does this. Bungee in each door, and you can open them all the way, and that way you get a nice breeze. Another thing is, when you're building your van, make sure you don't block the door. That's the mistake I made in my last build, is I only gave myself a little bit of space to walk through, and it was blocked in the other area so that the wind couldn't get through. Another thing that you might do to help you stay cooler is the direction that you park. Right now my cabin, or the front seat area of my van, is pointed west, which means that's the area getting all the sun, and in the back is I have the shade is being provided as the sun goes up and around. I have a more shady area back here. So how you point your van makes a big difference if it's really hot outside. Now, some people like to use awnings, and that's a good idea if you're in a right situation to use it. They will provide shelter from the sun. I'm in the city 99.9% of the time, so I can't really use an awning. And I find if I just park my van in the right way, at this certain time of the day, I will get shade right here, and I can just put my little lawn chair right here, and I can be in the library parking lot or a park and sit right by my van, and that provides shade. No awning necessary. Okay, that about does it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Be well, my friends.